legends in the making. You're tuned to WWE Uncovered, bringing WWE to your screen daily. Hit that bell and let's start. Something about that SmackDown taping felt different long before the reveal happened. Fans in attendance sensed the shift in tone, the quiet tension that usually signals a story about to turn. Double tapings always create opportunity, and WWE used that opportunity with precision. By the end of the night, a former Golden prospect was no longer drifting in creative limbo. Austin Theory wasn't eased back into relevance. He was dropped directly into it. No countdown, no dramatic return pose, no nostalgia play. Instead, WWE chose subtlety, patience, and long-term intent. What unfolded wasn't a comeback in the traditional sense. It was a repositioning. One moment changed how Theory is viewed, how he's protected, and how his future now looks heading toward 2026. A SmackDown that felt different. SmackDown in Grand Rapids carried an unusual energy from the start. With Raw scheduled to tape after the blue brand went off the air, the entire show had a nothing is accidental atmosphere. WWE understands spoiler culture and knows how to use it to their advantage. This episode wasn't built on spectacle or celebrity surprises. Instead, it leaned into narrative movement. Segments felt deliberate. Camera shots lingered longer than usual. Moments that seemed small began to feel important in hindsight. WWE wasn't shouting that something big was coming. They were whispering it. That restraint made the payoff land harder. By the time the night ended, it was clear this SmackDown wasn't filler. It was a pivot point designed to quietly reset the board. The subtle clue fans almost missed. Before the reveal ever happened, WWE planted its first major clue in plain sight: Austin Theory's ring gear. Gone was the flashy presentation tied to his earlier persona. In its place were darker tones, longer pants, and a more tactical, grounded look. WWE rarely alters gear without intention, especially for someone returning after months away. This wasn't an aesthetic refresh, it was visual storytelling. The gear communicated a shift from vanity to purpose, from influencer energy to enforcer mentality. At the time, some fans may have overlooked it. In hindsight, it reads like a warning sign. Austin Theory wasn't coming back to be celebrated. He was coming back to be used, positioned, and weaponized. The masked presence. Explained for weeks, WWE teased a mysterious figure interfering on behalf of the Vision. The speculation ran wild. Was it a debut? A surprise return? A major star waiting to be unveiled? The reveal landed clean and intentional. Austin Theory was the man behind the mask. Instantly, the story snapped into focus. Those weeks of interference weren't random. They were calculated. WWE didn't simply bring Theory back, they reintroduced him through association. By tying him to an already dominant faction, they erased memories of his last loss and replaced them with intrigue. This wasn't about redemption or apology. It was about loyalty, alignment, and quiet menace. Far more effective tools than nostalgia. The Paul Heyman effect. The most important image of the night wasn't the unmasking itself. It was Paul Heyman standing alongside Austin Theory. In WWE, Heyman is never an accident. His presence signals investment, protection, and long-term vision. When Heyman aligns with someone, the audience is being told to pay attention. Instantly, Theory's ceiling shifted. He wasn't a returning mid-carder anymore. He became a project with executive-level confidence behind it. Heyman represents credibility, patience, and positioning. His involvement suggests this isn't a short-term experiment. Theory isn't back to fill a roster slot. He's back to be reshaped into something WWE believes can matter. Where Austin Theory disappeared. To understand why this return works, you have to remember where Austin Theory went. In mid-2025, he quietly vanished from television. There was no dramatic injury angle, no storyline exit. He was simply gone. Reports later confirmed an undisclosed injury and his removal from the active roster as a procedural move. But absence in WWE is dangerous. Momentum fades quickly. During that time, his partnership with Grayson Waller ended, and Waller moved on creatively. Theory was left without direction, voice, or narrative anchor. If he had returned unchanged, fans would have shrugged. WWE knew that. Reinvention wasn't optional. It was necessary. Why this return feels different. This wasn't framed as a comeback tour or redemption arc. WWE didn't ask the audience to cheer for Austin Theory. They asked them to reassess him. That distinction matters. Theory returned silent, masked, and aligned. Not smiling or seeking validation. WWE trusted visual cues and context to do the work. That approach respects modern wrestling audiences, who are quicker to reject forced narratives than ever before. By recontextualizing Theory instead of resetting him, WWE avoided pretending the past didn't exist. They reframed it. His absence, his stagnation, and his removal from the spotlight now feel like fuel rather than failure. The Raw test after Christmas. The story didn't stop on SmackDown. On the taped December 22nd episode of Raw, airing after Christmas, Austin Theory finally returned to in-ring action. WWE wasted no time testing him. He was placed in a tag team match alongside Bronson against CM Punk and Rey Mysterio. That's not a soft re-entry. Punk and Mysterio are measuring sticks, legends used to test credibility. The match wasn't about easing Theory back. It was about seeing if he still belonged. When Theory pinned Rey Mysterio clean, the message was unmistakable. This wasn't a warm-up. It was a statement. Why that pin matters. Not all wins are equal in WWE, and Rey Mysterio is one of the most protected names in the company. Pinning him carries weight. It signals trust. It signals intent. WWE doesn't casually hand out victories over Mysterio, especially to someone fresh off a hiatus. That pin instantly injected legitimacy into Theory's return. It told fans this version of Austin Theory isn't rebuilding from zero. He's entering the conversation with momentum. Standing tall with the vision to close Raw reinforced that message. WWE wasn't teasing his potential anymore. They were asserting his relevance immediately and unapologetically. A dangerous new role heading into 2026, aligning with the vision, fundamentally changes Austin Theory's trajectory. This faction thrives on control, strategy, and execution. Theory fits that mold better than expected. He doesn't need to talk yet. He needs to perform, and that plays directly to his strengths. His silence, his gear, and his positioning all suggest someone shaped by absence and frustration. That mindset creates dangerous performers. Fan reactions have been mixed, which is exactly what WWE wants. Debate means engagement. Looking ahead, WWE now has options: slow burn singles growth, internal faction tension, or a future moment where Theory stands on his own, fully rebuilt. Heading into 2026, Austin Theory isn't drifting anymore. He's positioned at the most important crossroads of his career.